Hey everybody, this is me, the Undead Viking, and this is Sagrada. Sagrada is a bag dice building game where you are going to be trying to create a stained glass window. Sagrada is, I guess, Sagrada Basilica is a very, very famous church which has some awesome windows in it, apparently. I didn't know about that until I actually Googled it and found out. And check it out, that's really cool. But the game is a very, very light-hearted but very tricky puzzle game in which you're going to be taking dice that have been rolled, and then you're going to be drafting those dice onto your stained glass window and trying to create the best window you can while satisfying your own personal private goals and also some public goals that are out there. You also have access to some tools that allow you to manipulate the dice a little bit, and it's a heck of a lot of fun. So why don't I show you how to play, and then we'll come back here and I'll tell you what I think. Alright, cool. Alright, here we go. This is Sagrada. Now, this is, as I said, a dice manipulation building bag game. I don't know. It's got a lot of different things going on, but it is relatively simple, relatively quick, but it is super tricky to play. Now, let me show you how it is done. Okay, so these are the cards we're going to start with, and also there are these player boards. I'll talk about these in just a quick second. But the first thing you're going to have to do is that each game is going to be different because each person is going to get one of these random private goal cards. And basically, this is the different shades. Red, yellow, green, blue, and purple. And you get one of these random. This is yours and yours alone. However, everybody obviously knows that these are the colors. Basically, you're going to get extra points for each time you use this specific color. So you're going to be trying to figure out ways that you get that. So let's just say, I'll do it randomly. See what I get. Yellow. Alright, so the yellow will be your secret one. So you turn that over. You don't show it to anybody. Everybody else gets one of these. And then there are these public ones that you go after. And each one of these is a way to score points. You can see 6 points. So if you have a row on your window that is one of each color, that's worth 6 points. And everybody can know that. And then a column is worth 5. The shade basically means the shades are like the different numbers. So as long as the numbers are all different, then so on and so forth. So you earn those points that way. And so there's and so we go ahead and shuffle these up, and then you're going to draw 3 of these at random, and these will be 3 different communal chances. So let's see what we get here. So this is deep shades, so sets of 5 and 6 will be worth 2 points. And let's see here, and we're going to get row shade variety, a row with no repeated shades, or numbers basically. And then the last one is going to be the columns. Alright, so those are our 3. And then there are these tool cards. The tools cards allow you to basically manipulate the dice in a certain way. So let's just, I'm going to grab 3 and we'll just see which ones we get here. Let's see, 1, 2, and 3. Alright. And so of these, let's see here, we get copper foil burnisher. Move any one piece in your window, ignoring shade restriction. After drafting, place the piece without connecting to another piece, because normally you have to put the dice next to each other. And then grinding stone. After drafting, flip the piece to its opposite side. So we're going to go ahead and place those 3 tools out like so. Alright, so now the one difference between what I have and what's going to come out when the game comes out is that each person is going to get a board that's going to have several different options as far as their windows go. And basically they're going to be easy ones because this is kind of spread out. And basically the white means you can put whatever you want down, but everything else is like specifically you have to put a purple here, you have to have a number 4 here, and so forth. And the trick of the game is that you can't put either numbers orthogonally next to each other or colors orthogonally next to each other. So that can get a little tricky. So you'll and so this is like an easier one. And you can tell it's easier because of these little dots down here. And so then they blossom up to more difficult ones and so forth. And so what's going to happen, and also on the back, you can see there's like, whoa, that's, all different numbers there, and then so on and so forth. So what you'll do is you'll get a board that'll have several different options for you, and then you can choose which one you want to take. So if you want to go easy street, you can just go with this one and put that down, and that's what you're going to be trying to fill out. And then you're going to get this little 3 there. You're going to get 3 of these tokens that you're going to be able to use to buy the right to use those tools. Now, the first time anybody uses a tool, it just takes 1 token to use it. The second time somebody else wants to use it, they have to spend 2. So, for the most part, those aren't going to get used a lot. But if you have the extra tokens and you save them, they're going to be worth extra points at the end of the round after the game. So, even if you don't use them, and like if you go the route of, you know, this big, like the tougher ones that are tougher to figure out, you know, with all the different colors and so on and so forth, and you get the larger number of the tokens. If you can hold on to them, you know, they're going to be worth extra points. So the way the game works is that whoever is the first player, you just determine that randomly. They're going to take, so if we have 3 players, each person is going to get 2 dice per round, and so you take dice out equal to the number of players times 2 plus 1, if that makes sense. So with 3 players, you're going to have 7. So it's 3 times 2 is 6, plus 1 is 7. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Alright, so that's what we got. And so we didn't get any red. It doesn't look like, but we did get a blue, we got a green, we got a yellow. And so what happens the first round is that you're going to roll these dice, and then the first player does that. And they're going to pick one of those dice, and they're going to add it to their board with the idea of, 1, trying to satisfy, they want yellow, so we probably want to grab that yellow die that's out there. And they get to place it on their board. Now, the first time you place it, you have to place it on an edge. You can't place it in the middle. After that, as I said, you have to place the dice next to each other as you go on. So if we take this 2, like so, and you put it right there, bam. Now, that probably isn't the best decision I could have made, because you'll notice that means that I can't place a die there. Actually, I'm going to take that back, because that's a very poor decision. Basically, because there is a 2 on that spot, meaning that I have to place a 2 there. So if I have this 2, that would go there. And that kind of stinks, that like I couldn't. I mean, I could if I wanted to. If I wanted to spend a point, I could say, after drafting, flip the piece to the opposite side, so we can go 2, and then we're going to flip it over and make it a 5. And that's a completely valid thing. And now, if I want to get a 2, I can go ahead and pick that as well. So let's just say the next person goes, they take this, and then the third person takes this blue one, and then the next person, and it's a serpentine draft. So like, if you're familiar with that, so basically, the third person goes, the last person goes in this turn, they're going to go twice. So they're going to take that one, and they take this, and then it goes like that, and it gets back to me, and this 2 is available, and so why don't I can just slide that 2 onto that spot, and that is completely valid. Now, diagonal moves are allowed. Those are considered to be next to each other. And so then they go there. Now you take this other die and you place that, basically, there's going to be a turn track when the game gets released, but you place that die there, it would be like the turn track, and that would show that round 1 is done. And there is a 10-round game. And so then you hand the bag with all the dice to the next person, and they're going to take 7 more of these. And then, let's see here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Wow, I still haven't gotten a red one. That's crazy. So whoever like got boned and got like the red like private one, you know, they're kind of cursing their luck right now. So we're gonna roll this, and so because I went first, now you're gonna go last. So the next person goes, and I'm just gonna say, let's see, they took that yellow. You're like, ah, you jerk, you took the yellow. Next person goes, bam, and so now it's my turn. So now I can start trying to maybe fill out situations. So here I can go with the 4 there, and I could hit the 1 here. Now I've actually set myself up pretty well, you know, with for regards to this one, because look, I have a 1, 2, and a 5. If I can somehow get a 6 and like a 3 in that spot, I'd be able to go ahead and fulfill this. Now, and also, you know, it's like, you know, and I've got a 5 down there, so if I can get a 6 on the bottom row, I mean, I'd be able to satisfy this as well. And so you can kind of see how the game evolves at this point. And as you start using up the spots on your window, and you start getting constricted, you start getting that space. And I should mention, also, it's very important, that every spot that you don't manage to fill in, you know, of your little puzzle, your little window puzzle, at the end of that 10 rounds, it's worth -1 points. So after all is said and done, I'm not going to go through every single round. You're going to figure out how many spaces you have left, and then if you didn't fill it, those are worth -1 points. You count up how much you've satisfied your private one. You count up how much you've satisfied as far as the communal options that you're shooting for. However many of these tokens you have left are worth 1 point. and whoever has the most points, obviously, will be the winner of this game. It is a lot of fun. I love dice. It is a very colorful game. Every time I brought this to my local game store and I played it, everybody stopped and stared and looked. I think it has a lot to do with these like, super awesome, cool, colorful dice, and plus the dice action, the rolling, and the interactivity. You know, it plays in about a half hour. It's one of those perfect family games that you can teach in about 5 minutes, and everybody's going to learn how to play it and know how to play it and have a lot of fun with it. But let me talk more about that in my final thoughts. I just want to say, I, for one, have always hated the terminology of gateway game. Anything can be a gateway game. It doesn't have to be a simple game. It doesn't have to be a straightforward game. It doesn't have to be like, you know, some, you know, like Pillars of the Earth, or it doesn't have to be some Ticket to Ride. My gateway game was Arkham Horror, for crying out loud. But I will say this, I think Sagrada is a wonderful gateway game. As I said, when I brought this to my local game store and I was playing it, I had more than a few people stop and like ask about it, look at it, check it out, ask to play the game, try it out. And I even had people that like basically were like there to drop off other people that weren't really gamers per se, and they were really excited to play it. And I had a couple people like they wanted to know where they could buy it right then immediately, and like I basically had to say you have to wait a little bit and back it on Kickstarter, and they were a little disappointed. But I'm sure they backed it by now. But the thing is that it has everything that it needs to be that type of game, that type of family game. It has really, really straightforward rules. It affords a lot of communal thinking because of the fact that like when people are trying to figure out which die to pick, you know, it's your nature to try to say, you know, maybe take that one and put it there, or what have you. And it is something that kind of can bridge the gaps, if you will. Everybody's played games with dice. Everybody's like, you know, done like a football draft with the serpentine thing. You know, I mean, so it has a lot of things going for it that are just really, really comfortable, and like, you know, that comfort level or whatever isn't too imposing. My family loves it. We played a lot of it. My son maybe a little bit too young, but both my wife and my daughter really took to it and had a great fun with it. So if you're looking for one of those games that like kind of bridges that gap and also is that perfect wind-up game for the big game, or like after the game night is winding down, just a quick game you can play right before everybody goes home, I really suggest you check out Sagrada. I don't think you'll be disappointed. If you have any questions about the game, ask away. I'll be happy to answer those to the best of my ability. Thank you very much, as always, for taking the time to watch this video. And until next time, I'm the Undead Viking, and I'm telling you to have yourself one heck of an awesome day. Alright, bye.